Dean, I think Fantilli saw Edmonton. I think he just played in one game against them last year. How rich, and not just for him, but all of your young players, how rich is the experience to see that high-end speed of McDavid, the skill of Draisaitl, all of that?
Hopefully not. Hopefully
just
we
to
don't
see it
see
up
any of
close.
that. Hopefully we don't allow him to wind his speed up. Yeah, I mean, obviously he's arguably the best player in the world, right? So, yeah, it's exciting. Hopefully our players don't care about that, and we're just worried about checking and playing on the right side of them. If you don't, then we're in a lot of trouble. But they've got a lot more weapons than just him as well. So, got a big challenge ahead of us.
Dean, the kind of mistakes, and sorry, you've alluded to mistakes that they're going to be made, but just how do you usually evaluate the kind of mistakes? Are they more of the aggressive kind, or are they just the kind that you'd rather not see in the game?
They're the kind that are called turnovers. That's the kind that they were. And we're going to see them here in about 10 minutes. I think we've got a package put together. I'm not going to tell you how many, but yeah, there's a lot of, self-destruction in that game. Tarasov had to make some unbelievable saves because we just didn't manage the puck. Coaches talk about it all the time, right? The inside our blue line, just outside, just inside and outside the other blue line. It's like the pucks have to get managed properly and put into proper areas where we can have success. And again, it doesn't mean that we're just throwing it out of our zone. It doesn't mean we're dumping and chasing every time. It's just meaning don't try to beat a guy. Don't turn it over 3 feet inside the blue line, or else it's coming the other way. And yeah, I mean, just loot. If it happens here tonight, same as it did in Nashville, they're going to come at us with speed and with offensive skill, and it'll end up in the back of our net, which it did. We had a 2-0 lead. We didn't manage it properly, and we ended up losing that hockey game in overtime because of it.
Any lineup changes tonight?
You know what? We got some guys a little under the weather. I'm not gonna go into it because I don't want to say who's in and who's out. But we do have some question marks for tonight's hockey game.
Goalie.
Elvis will play goal.
Dean, we've talked a lot about defensemen being involved in every aspect of your game, and I think we've seen Zach maybe benefit from that. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but are there others that you have seen elevate their game because of the freedom really that you're giving them?
Honestly, I think all our D have had good opportunities and good nights and or games and shifts jumping into the play, 100%. And I think we honestly have done a good job of protecting them when they have gone in. We've dove in a couple of times when we've been the forward who's backing the defenseman up, who's gone into the play. But for the most part, our forwards have been intelligent as far as picking them up and taking their positions, which allows us to feel good and confident that we can get them involved. I think our entire team, any team in the National Hockey League knows that they have to get the D involved in order to score goals in this league now, and we're no different. So we're going to ask our guys to continue to get up, but they have to get protected as well.
And also being more aggressive defensively as well, and rather than sitting back going after plays, has that been beneficial to individuals out there as well?
Yeah, I hope so. I think, we want to use our speed, our aggressiveness, our pressure in all three zones. It doesn't mean that it just happens in the defensive zone that we want to close and go stick on puck. It's the neutral zone and offensive zone to turn pucks over. And we've asked our guys to play with high energy in all areas. And hopefully that's, closing on the defensive side and then getting the hell out of our D zone. What's my question?
A self-indulgent Edmonton-related question. You played for Bill LaForge. Every coach takes something from a different coach. He had quite the legendary reputation in the Western Hockey League and the OHL, brief stint in the NHL. What did you sort of glean and gather from Bill?
Okay, there's about 100 things I cannot tell you that I learned from coaches. There's a lot of things that I can't, imply or use with our group. Things like hitting a heavy bag after practice, running the stairs in our gear. Yeah, stuff I could go on. There's those are the ones I can say. I tell you what, I would have personally never played in the National Hockey League without him. He pushed you. It might have been unorthodox, and you could do some of the stuff that he did back then and get away with it. But it served my purpose to get there. And no, I've taken a lot. A lot I haven't, as I said, but a lot I've taken as far as the motivation and how his approach was complete team. Like everyone was together, had each other's back. We were always tough teams, but we all weren't tough, but our team was tough. And I think, I know all of us, we have such a close group from those years in Kamloops, and he was a huge part, or the part, of why we are. Thanks, guys.